my first glance of Fort-de-France, the capital city of Martinique, and one of France's overseas territories in the Caribbean Sea. This was my first time in Martinique, and so my impression of the skyline of Fort-de-France was that it was a little more urban and bigger than what I've usually experienced in a Caribbean port city. As the Celebrity Summit sailed into the open berth, we watched the pilot boat and handlers worked on the lines to secure the ship to the dock. Once we disembarked, we found a driver to take us along the northern loop. We rumbled past the outlying area of the city by the river. The buildings and houses all built up on the hillside for a colorful display. Our first stop was at the Sacré-Coeur de la Balata, constructed in 1915. It is a miniature version of the Basilica of the Sacred Heart of Paris. We had limited time to explore the interior, but it certainly felt immense for its size while standing below the dome. The view alone from up here was worth the drive, as one can see a glimmer of Fort-de-France beyond in the distance. Back on the road, taking the Route de la Trace, we continued on our tour. Miles of twisty turns and switchbacks, and the climb up through the rainforest made for a lovely scenic drive. The road followed a route cut by the Jesuits in the 17th century. Islanders like to say that the Jesuits' fondness for rum accounts for the twisting nature of the road. The greenery on both sides of the road was on par with many of the Caribbean islands that we have visited. 4 meters of precipitation a year will do that. Another stop was at the boulder-strewn Alma River, one of the many springs that carve their way from the rainforest. While some people took a refreshing toe dip into the clear water, we gravitated towards the steps leading up into the rainforest. Barely inside it, we felt the cooling breeze enveloping us.
Do you feel the temperature changed?
Yeah.
From road?
A lot cooler here.
That's for sure.
Be nice to go through for a walk through here.
Looking way up to the tops of the trees, with the sky peeking through the foliage. Back on the road, we continued our tour amidst the backdrop of the verdant greenery of the rainforest. Our next stop is the Saut Gendarme Waterfall, or the waterfall of the fallen police, who met his death while climbing the waterfall. A popular tourist attraction with well-constructed path made of wood or stone to safely guide one down. And then one has to carefully traverse the rocks and boulders without getting too wet. But once that's done, the waterfall was straight ahead. It was tamed. It hardly went up to one's knees, and the well-laid surrounding stonework gave me the impression of a kiddie pool. Given that there were a lot of families with young children around, it was apropos. Once more on the road, we continued along the Route de la Trace, with the lush tropical rainforest behind us. Towards the horizon, the summit of Mont Pelée beckoned. Towering over Martinique, this iconic mountain became a flashpoint of ruin and destruction on May 8, 1902. When the volcano erupted, the nearby 30,000 residents of Saint-Pierre and surrounding villages perished instantly. Today, the volcano is considered live but inactive. Approaching Saint-Pierre, founded in 1635, known as Martinique's cultural capital, hence its nickname as the Paris of the Caribbean. If there was a missed opportunity to stop briefly and walk about, this was it. Yet, as we drove through, one can see glimpses of what life can be like in this seaside town, with its cafes, open-air markets, attractions, and beaches. Its narrow main road reflected its French colonial history, as well as the charred remains of the epic eruption of Mont Pelée. Our final view of Saint-Pierre and Mont Pelée was breathtaking. We took in the blue-green waters of the Caribbean Sea, the sailboats gently bobbing at anchor, and a couple snorkeling in the rock pool. The final stop of the tour was at the Neisson Rhum Distillery. It was mainly a self-guided tour. There was a presentation center that was roped off, preventing one from seeing the machinery up close.
This is where they make the rum. You can see all the sugar cane. Obviously rum is making a bit out of sugar cane. See all the sugar cane all piled up over here. It's all been already cut down to small pieces. So that this back over here can load it onto the press. And then it gets crushed. You can see right there, after the sugarcane has been pressed, you can see the juice is already flowing down those troughs over there. And I don't know exactly why it's flowing out in the open like that, but that's the way they do it.
The North Island tour has ended, and we're headed back to Fort de France by way of the coastal highway.